Good afternoon, Steel City. This is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio. Your host, Ralph Calise. Welcome to the show today. On today's show, we will be going over Pittsburgh Steelers win Monday night in Pittsburgh. As I was there live with my son and my family. We'll go over that win. We're going to go over the season. 6-2 start. The bye coming up. We're going to go over after what we think will happen. After the bye is over, we're at 6-2 in the AFC North, top of the division. I have my son today, special guest on the Yinzer Report, and we will go over all of this on this Pittsburgh Steelers midway edition of the Yinzer Report today on IE Sports Radio. So please come join me and my son, my special guest, on the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sport.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps. for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Ralph Calise again, your host of the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio. And at this time, I'd like to introduce to you guys my special guest. He's been on the show. I believe this is his third time. This is my son, Anthony Calise. He is on the air with us. Ant, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, buddy. What's up? So let's just go through what I just went through. I played the sponsors first. That was Planet Beef Jerky, the best jerky around on Planet Beef Jerky. So you could order that. Seal the Deal Wax Seals from Cecilia B. Get yourself some nice little designs for your letters or whatever you have coming up, whatever like weddings or graduations that'll be coming up sooner than you think. And stuff like that. And, of course, IE Sports Radio, the reason why we are on the air. And, of course, you could go to iesportsradio.com and check out some merch. As you can see, I have the IE Sports Radio shirt hanging in the background in the paraphernalia room here with the black and gold. All right, so let's get into what had happened this past weekend. And the reason why the Yinzer Report is on a Wednesday at 4 o'clock is because I had the show rescheduled because I was away. The family and I, we took the trip to Pittsburgh to watch the Steelers play the New York Giants, as it turned out to be. We went there. We were at Acrisure Stadium. The family was me, my wife, my son, his girlfriend, and my daughter. So we all went out to, we took a trip to Pittsburgh and we went to see the game. So I'm going to bring my son in again here and we are going to talk about the game. So we went out, we took the trip and we actually saw the Steelers win. A little side note there with me and you is I believe the last time that you and I have went to a Steelers game, they have not won.
It's been a while, actually. It's actually been the past two times they went. They lost last year versus the Cardinals. And then I think it was 2 years, right? It was 2 years or a year before COVID. They lost to the Chiefs. That was Patrick Mahomes' rookie year. He beat us. And then the time before was when we went with Greg, and they beat Baltimore.
Yes, that was the last time they've won. Now, side note to all of this, I've been on a real bad losing streak in any type of sport I went to for whatever team I've been rooting for. I have not seen my teams win in a long time. So this actually broke the jinx, and it was the Steelers' 23rd straight Monday night win over the Giants. And we'll just go over. We'll just get into the game a little bit. The trip down there was great. We drove, as everybody knows now. I do the show from New York. I'm located in New York, so I do the show from New York. And we took the 6-hour trip to Pittsburgh, and we got to the hotel around, I want to say it was around 3:30. We were out of the hotel, and we actually took a boat. I mentioned this on the radio station there that on all the apps, that I was about to take a boat. So we took the boat over to Acrisure Stadium, which was pretty cool. And what were your thoughts on taking the boat to Acrisure Stadium?
The boat's different. It brings a different vibe to the game, I guess, because when you're in the water, you're passing all the bridges and everything. You're approaching, the stadium, the front of the stadium. You can see fans all over the place. As soon as you get off the boat, there's all Steeler fans. It's a little bit – I actually like it better than doing the traditional walk over the bridge. But, hey, listen, however you can get to the game, get to the game. But if you do go to Pittsburgh and you can take the boat, I would suggest it because the views are just immaculate, especially coming home from the game.
Yes, the boat was unbelievable. All Steeler fans packed on the boat with some Giant fans hanging in there in between. All right. So game time came. We did our thing. We got out there. We took some pictures. As I posted some pictures. You took that picture of me in front of the wall there with all the old Steelers that were lined up there. We wound up taking some pictures with the family. We took some pictures with the Steeler Pope, as I posted on the band app there for the IE Sports Radio crew. And game time came. So the game kicked off, and Steelers got the ball first. The Giants deferred, and they actually went right down the field with Russell Wilson at the quarterback. And he did his patent, his first throw was a rollout and a pass to the tight end. Well, actually, no, it was Calvin Austin this time. And they went right down the field, and they scored a touchdown, but the touchdown was taken back because of a penalty on Broderick Jones, who face masked the Giants defensive lineman there. So all in all, it was good. It was a first drive right down the field. What were your thoughts on the first drive?
The first drive was pretty good. I actually had no problems at all with any of the play call they did on the first drive. It was just unfortunate that they get the touchdown like everyone's been expecting, everyone's been wanting. And here we go with Broderick Jones with another terrible penalty, which was unnecessary. You had the guy blocked. I don't know why your hand's anywhere near his face mask. And it takes 7 points away. And typical Pittsburgh Steelers, they settle for 3.
Right. That was the old formula. Kick the field goal and play defense when Justin Fields was the quarterback. But yes, let's not forget, let's just remind all the Steeler fans out there that Broderick Jones is not playing in his regular position. He's usually playing on the other side. And this was due to all the injuries that had happened. So the game went along. It was a field goal barrage. Both teams were actually going up and down the field when they had the ball. There wasn't many stops, many punts. And halftime came, and it was Giants tied it up at half. It was 9-9. So 6 field goals were kicked, and it was 9-9 at halftime. But the offense was playing well. Defense was giving up chunk yardage. Defense is a little bit of a worry to me, but we'll get into that later. So it was 9-9 at half. Coming out of the half, the Giants received a kick, and I tell you, the place was just nuts. It's nothing like going to a football game live. Pittsburgh is different. You got the terrible towels. There's all kinds of comments roaming around in the stands that you hear. People yelling, people screaming. It's just a different environment. We took the game in with, like I said, my son, his girlfriend went, and my wife and my daughter. And who I must say, all 3 were troopers throughout. I want to thank Melissa for buying us finding that guy and buying us the terrible towels and the hats. You and Melissa, I should say. But she was a gamer, man. She went out. She's like, no, we're getting you a terrible towel because I committed the cardinal sin as a Steeler fan. I forgot my terrible towel in the hotel room. But no, that was great. And Mom toughed it out in the cold weather. Well, it wasn't really cold. It was just different for her because she's not used to going to cold weather events outside. She's used to indoor events. And it was Jackie's, our daughter's first, daughter and A-Ray's sister's first football game, and she loved it. So what were your thoughts all around with the environment at the game with the family for once? Because that's the first time we've ever went with the family to a football game.
The environment was insane. I mean, that's just anytime you go to a Steelers game, you have to kind of expect that type of environment. There was a little bit more added juice to it because it's a Monday night game. So anytime the Steelers are in prime time, I think just the stadium is more packed. Going into the game, I know we'll probably talk about it a little later, but first place, sole possession of first place was on the line, gives it a little bit more juice.
Yes.
And, to have it was a crazy experience for me to have everyone at the game with us. Jackie was cheering at some points harder than I was.
Yes, she was. She was. I noticed that. And she was waving that terrible towel. I think she hit me like 3 times.
Yeah, I got
hit Mom like 3. She hit 3 or 4. She was just slapping Mom like,
I was in the middle between her and Melissa and the terrible towel being swung.
Yeah,
I was getting killed.
I got clipped in the eyes twice too with Jackie's terrible towel. But it was great. It is a great feeling. Football is family. It's a family event. Even I'm sure everybody out there that watches football on a Sunday, everybody's gathered around the TV or wherever you like to watch your games with your family and your friends. It's just a football environment. And taking a game live in Pittsburgh, it's just unbelievable. I would love to do it every week I can. All right, so getting back to the game, the second half got underway, and the Giants, I believe, went 3 and out because they had the ball first. And then the game turned on this is what we're going to talk about. New dimension of the Steelers that we have not seen in years, the special teams. Now, the special teams is coached under Danny Smith. And I believe it was like midway through the third quarter, Calvin Austin ran back a punt with 75-yard punt for a touchdown. There was a flag on the play. There was flags all over the field the whole game, whether it was screwing us or screwing the Giants. It was both for both teams. But he runs back the punt. The place is unglued. Terrible towels are waving. The music's blasting. The Steelers are up by 7 points. And the special teams, again, I wrote it down here in the last let's talk about the special teams because I just wanted to mention when we go to camp, we watch them practice special teams. It's like half of the practice. And everybody gets down and out when the special teams comes because they want to see all the players practice. But the Steelers do take it seriously. So when Mike Tomlin says that, it's something that we practice and we go for, he's not lying there. So the special teams, this is the last 4 weeks now. They have 2 blocked field goals, a blocked punt, a blocked extra point, a punt return, as I mentioned, for the TD, and Chris Boswell was 12 for 12 on field goals this year. So we met Danny Smith in person this year. We spoke with him, you and Greg, took pictures with him. He signed some autographs for us. Just a great guy, and I think the special teams is really been a big part of this 6-2 record that has gotten us off to a great start. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, we talked to Danny in training camp. He's all ready to go. He takes it as serious as ever. He wants to make sure that he's got the best special teams out there. And I think so far you can make the case this year they have the best special teams unit in all of football. They're making plays every week. The turning point in the game was Calvin Austin's punt return because there were really no points getting put up by either teams. And to get touchdowns on special teams it's tough now. Anytime you see punt returns or kickoff returns, you're guaranteed to see a yellow flag somewhere, and it's always holding or it's a block in the back or it's something. So to see a punt return for a touchdown with no flags, sign me up every week for that one.
Yeah, me too. That was great. All right, so the game went along. The Steelers then they stopped the Giants. The Giants had a little drive going there. They stopped them, and they came back down, and Calvin Austin again caught a 23-yard touchdown pass from Russell Wilson. Now, Russell Wilson has come in the past 2 weeks, and he's basically shown what Mike Tomlin was talking about. I don't know, us two sitting here talking out there to you guys were a little suspect of the move at the beginning. But, hey, Mike Tomlin runs the team the way he's going to run it, and that's what he did. And so far, so good. It's working out for him. But, yes, Calvin Austin wound up catching a 23-yard pass. I believe there was one long throw on that drive. I think it was to Van Jefferson. I think that was the one before the one he threw to Pickens. I think the one to Pickens that he threw, they kicked the field goal. So they scored the touchdown. And by the way, Calvin Austin was named, before we came on, I looked it up. He was named Special Teams Player of the Week. But he had a special teams touchdown on the kick return, and he scored a touchdown on the pass. And you're seeing now Russell Wilson. So the Steelers, they went up 25-16 after that touchdown. And you can see now Russell Wilson is using all the wide receivers that we did not see that happen with Justin Fields. So I don't know if there's something in it with the passing with like Mike Tomlin was saying, let's see what we got with Russell Wilson. And, Justin Fields is more of the runner, and like he did when he played. And I'm just going to stress this again. Justin Fields did nothing wrong in the 6 starts that he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. And Russell Wilson so far is playing pretty well. He's playing not pretty well. He's playing pretty good. But time will tell, because we all know what's coming up after the bye, but we're going to get into that a little later. Your thoughts on the quarterback situation as it stands and the 25-16 lead in the Giants game?
So for me, I was one of those people that was screaming their head off, saying, what is Mike Tomlin doing, this and that. I actually said openly to you that versus the Jets, if we would have lost that game, he should have been fired Monday night.
Yes, you did say that, and I was flipping out on you.
But I mean,
not flipping out on you, but I was like, you're crazy. What are you talking about?
This is just typical Mike Tomlin. He knows the team the best. This is why we're fans. My opinion means absolutely nothing, because clearly what do I know? And Russell Wilson's actually looked really good. He's opened up the passing game so much. I mean, just everything that they're doing, they were never doing with Justin.
It's so
the only
different.
time Justin was really throwing the ball was to Pickens. And, everyone was saying, where's Austin? Where's Jefferson? Now Russell's in there, and it seems like all the receivers are on the same page. They're getting all multiple targets, multiple catches, and the play action is better. It's just that the typical situation that Tomlin kind of referred to is Justin Fields was the quarterback who can run with his legs and extend plays, but Russell Wilson is the better pure passer, and we're seeing that now.
I agree 100%. It is definitely a big difference, as you could see in the passing game. And let's not forget, they're even using that tight end that we drafted, who was a monster, Darnell Washington, which this guy wasn't getting any balls thrown to him, maybe one a game for like a 5-yard out or whatever. But like I mentioned at the beginning, they incorporated Darnell Washington into the offense. And when you see this guy catch a ball, it's like, look out below, because he's a monster. And the way Russell Wilson gets him the ball is he rolls out and he throws him a little pass, and then he does what he has to do. All right, so I think the third quarter ended and it was 25-16. The fourth quarter came, and I don't know if we went up 28-16. Were we up 28-16? I forget. Did we kick the field goal before the Giants started mounting the comeback at the end there?
No, we kicked the final field goal on the play where Pickens got the same foot down, but not his left foot. That would have been another touchdown.
Yes, so that was what I was getting into. Yes, we did have 2. We should have had 12 more points. Well, 14 more points. Let's put it that way. But if you minus, they got field goals on both of them. So, but really, we should have had 14 points instead of 2 field goals, because, like we mentioned at the beginning, the penalty to Roger Jones took back a touchdown from George Pickens. And then, like my son just said, there was a crazy replay thing that happened with George Pickens on that play. And when the play happened, we all saw the referee signal touchdown, and we were going crazy. So twice that happened. Everybody was waving their towels, flipping out, slapping fives or whatever, high-fiving, and we all got discouraged, because there was no touchdown. So this actual play, it's going to be hard to describe. How did he catch it? He caught the ball. Guy, you describe it because you saw it better.
He caught the ball, and when he caught the ball, his right foot hit for 1 foot.
Twice.
Twice
that foot hit.
Twice, yes. Somehow he didn't drag his left foot, but he then took another step with his right foot.
And his other foot stood in the air and went out of bounds.
Yeah, it just was floating the entire time, never touched the ground.
And it was the correct call.
It was. Now, if it's college, that's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown, and the double tap with the same foot is no good.
Yes.
So we're all flipping out. We're watching the replay. Now, they called touchdown first, then they discussed it, and it's that video replay again that came in, and they told the referees it's not a touchdown. So Mike Tomlin is – you could actually see – I watched the replay of the game last night, actually. George Pickens was yelling at Mike Tomlin on the sideline to challenge it. But nobody knew the rule, it looked like, on the Steelers sideline, because you can't challenge a play that comes from the overview. Yeah, from the overview. So he lost his challenge. They found out later on he did lose his challenge. We were talking about that during the game. He did lose his challenge, but he didn't lose a timeout. I think that's how it went.
Yeah.
I think that's how it went. So here's Mike Tomlin challenging a play he can't even challenge. Mike Tomlin is not good. If there's one thing he's not good at, we all know it's challenges. Yes. You can go look the stats up on that. Oh, my God. So, all right, so now we kick the field goal, and it's 28-16. This is great, by the way. I just love talking Steelers football with you. And now we're actually on a stage. We're out there talking into the universe.
Yeah, I know. We were at the game with each other talking about it. I know. Talking to everyone else.
This is just like my heart is pounding right now. I'm pumped up. So now it's 28-16, and the Giants start mounting a comeback. And now let's just get into the Steelers defense here. They were giving up chunk plays. They gave up a 45-yard TD run. And then I don't know what the Giants were doing. Now, there was a Giant fan sitting in front of us with a bunch of Steeler fans. He was the only one there. I give him so much credit for sitting there because his own people were abusing him. Not bad, but yeah, they were razzing him and everything. And the Giants scored the touchdown. So now it's 28. I'm sorry. It's 20. Is it 20? Was it 28 or 25 when they scored?
I think it was 28 at that time.
Yeah, it was 28. That's right, because we went up, right. So it was 28. They scored the touchdown, and they lined up for a 2-point conversion, which I didn't understand at the start. But I guess they're saying we need 2 scores, we need 2 touchdowns to make it up with the 2 points. And if anybody out there who saw the game and saw how the Giants lined up for this extra point, for the 2-point conversion, I was yelling at the Giant fan after it was unsuccessful. What in the world was that? I said, Giant fan, please tell us what the hell we just looked at. I think the guy got scared that I started yelling at him, but I wasn't yelling at him to try to abuse him or anything. I was just yelling at him to what was that? Is that in your play system? Is that a play? Because they didn't run it right. And like I said, I watched the replay last night. Jalen Jones was pissed. He was pissed at that play. I don't think he really wanted to run that play because he was yelling at Dable on this when he went back.
It's one of those weird plays. I mean, you got
like a college 2-point.
You have offensive linemen going out to play receive. I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to get the screen block and have an offensive lineman there to block everyone, basically, so the guy can sneak in. But if you're a defensive back, you're going to see that from a mile away and just blitz it like they did.
Right. Well, I don't know. It helped us out. Thank God they didn't get it. So anyway, that was an unsuccessful 2-point attempt. And then the end of the game come. Let's just get into quick to the end of the game because we got so much more to go over here. The end of the game came, and the Giants had a chance to actually tie the game up on. It was like the last 4 minutes.
Yeah. So
Russell Wilson has the ball. We have the ball with 4 minutes left. Trying to run the clock out. Maybe get a couple of first downs, right? Run the clock out. And what does Russell Wilson do? He becomes to think like he's Justin Fields. And he was getting pressured, and he takes off, and he runs, and he completely did not protect the ball. If you watch the replay, like I said, I watched the game last night. The Giant went and he punched him in the bottom of the helmet. And they missed that. The rest missed that. He hit him in the bottom of the helmet, and he punched and he tipped the ball. The ball came out. Now, we were sitting right next to each other, and I heard you yelling, "You have one trucking job as a veteran quarterback to hold on to the trucking ball," and you were boisterous because my ears were piercing. So take us through that.
I mean, it's that prototypical end of the game scenario. You want to run the clock out and win the game. That's it. You don't even want the Giants to get the ball again. And I understand what he was trying to do. He didn't want to take the sack, but you gotta hang on to the ball. You're the veteran quarterback. You're Russell Wilson. You've been in this situation a million times, and you fumble the ball on your own 30-yard line.
That was the problem, because it was on the 30-yard line.
It's not like we would drive in or we were in the red zone. You were on your own 30-yard line. Right. And I think it was only the second play from scrimmage after the Giants scored.
And mind you, this was the Giants' second chance. This was their second chance in that because the Steelers stopped them before, and we wound up getting the ball on downs at that point where he fumbled.
Yeah.
Because T.J. Watt they didn't record it as a sack, but he tripped Daniel Jones. I thought it was a sack, but I looked at the stats today. He only had 2 sacks. I thought he had 3. But yeah, so now the Giants got the ball back with plenty of time on the clock, and we're all now. Now I'm worried. Now I'm getting worried. Now I'm getting worried because they got the ball there. But what happens? T.J. Watt comes through. There was a lot of talk going on with a Giant lineman, I noticed, the past couple of hours.
Yeah, he wanted to be on an island with him, but
he was saying that, right, and he's saying that T.J. Watt did nothing against him. Well, I don't know if he looked at the NFL. They named the T.J. Watt Defensive Player of the Week. So, all right, if he thinks he played good against him, all right, you can have that victory for yourself. But, yeah, he was named defensive. But T.J. Watt, sack, strip, fumble. Steelers have the ball, and I think that was the end. No, that wasn't the end of the game.
Giants that was the drive before. Yes. They got the ball back again.
They did. That's right. See, I'm getting so excited here. I forgot how the game went. But yes, they got the ball back again, and that's when Beanie Bishop made the interception.
Yeah.
So in the last, I would say, 4 minutes, the Steelers had stopped the Giants with that fumble.
Yeah.
They stopped them before that on a drive. Then they stopped them on the fumble, and then the defense came up at the end, like you just said, and
with the interception.
Explain what happened with the interception.
So as far as the interception goes, they did it great. They blitzed Jones perfectly, and it was one of those situations. You need the first down. You got to push the ball down the field. You're very limited. I don't think they had any timeouts left, and Beanie was
right. Because it was under 2 minutes. Position. You're correct. Yes, that's why I got you on the show. You've got all that computed in your head. I was just there for excitement. I was going crazy. But yes, that was that. Beanie Bishop came up with the interception. We're going to get into Beanie Bishop in a little bit. So that was the game. It was a 28-16 win, and the Steelers are 6-2. And we are first place now in the AFC North, as I just put up there, as you can see it. We had a good day Sunday. The Browns wound up beating the Ravens, and the Bengals got killed by the Eagles. So that was the game, and it was great walking out of the stadium amongst all the people. It took us forever to get out of the stadium because it was packed. I will say there was a lot of Giant fans because we were sitting up and looking down towards the end of the game, just before the pickoff. We were all standing up to watch that play. And I saw a lot of blue all around the bottom in the first levels there. So, hey, they traveled from New York like we did, but they were rooting for the Giants. We were rooting for the Steelers, and we pulled it out. We took the boat back to the hotel, and hey, thank God we won. We got the victory under our belt. It was a great night, and we won 28-16, like I said. And let's just check the chats. I see some comments up here. We have in the chat, we have, where's my screen here? There it is. All right, Terran Rodriguez. Terran, what's up? Good afternoon, Ralph. Have an amazing show. Thank you, Terran. Thanks for joining in. Terran, did you enjoy your trip to Pittsburgh? How about Pitt's women's volleyball beating Louisville? Yes, I did see the score. They did beat Louisville, and they are playing well. And the trip was great, as we just mentioned. And Danny Mann is in the chat. Need to hear all about that Pittsburgh trip. We're doing that right now. We just finished it. And Terrence says hello to you. And
how are you?
Danny Man Boswell might be the best kicker in the league. He's not far off. T5 who runs our New Orleans show. What's good, fellas? Much love from the Crescent City. That Monday night football game was interesting. LOL. Yes, it got very interesting. And our boy, Hall of Famer Yukio from Japan. Good afternoon, Ralph and Anthony. It's Thursday, 5:30 a.m. in Japan. Check that out, buddy. We got people in Japan listening to us.
Wow.
I woke up just now. I hope you guys have a great show. Pittsburgh Steelers for life. I think he was the guy who had the show way before me. I'm not sure. I have to look into that. And Aunt Mary's in the chat. Hi, Ralph. It was an interesting game. Hope you and Anthony are nice. Prize to see you. And Yukio, again, it looks like it's going to be a tough opponent schedule after the play. Yes, we're going to get into that next. All right, so that was the game. Like I said, they won. Let me take a quick break. Let's regroup here. And when I get back, we're going to talk about we're going to recap the 6-2 start real quick, and then we're going to get into some things about the crazy schedule that's coming up and how will our Steelers wind up after the next 9 games. This is the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We will be right back.
Sports fans, do you like teams that are tough, cities that are tougher, and fan bases that are passionate about their teams? How about teams that are historic and stadiums that are iconic? Then you belong in Chicago, and you need to check out Chi-Town Weekly. Join me, Adam Kernan, every week as we keep up with all things Chicago sports. Bears, Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, White Sox. We'll cover them all, plus more. The Windy City is always buzzing, and we'll keep you up on all the big games and major stories. So tune in to Chi-Town Weekly every week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Cleveland and Columbus sports fans, this is Jen D, host of the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. If you love Cleveland and Columbus sports like I do, be sure to tune in live to the Show of the Land on Tuesdays, where we will cover the Cleveland Browns, Cavs, Guardians, and Monsters. We will also talk about the Columbus Blue Jackets, Crew, Fury, and of course, the Ohio State Buckeyes. We'll also cover other colleges in the area like Akron, Kent State, Cleveland State, Mount Union, John Carroll, Baldwin Wallace, Youngstown State, among others. So like I said, if you love Cleveland and Columbus sports like I do, be sure to tune in Tuesdays to the Show of the Land with Jen B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
All right, welcome back. This is Ralph Calise, host of the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. And once again, we have our special guest today is my son, Anthony Calise. Thanks for joining it. That was a pretty good segment at the beginning there. I had so much other things on the game to read, but I don't know, we're short for time, so I'm not going to read anything that on here that really sticks out. Let's see. Patrick Queen had his greatest game of his Steeler career. We mentioned the Beanie Bishop interception. Another 100-yard game for Najee Harris. Jalen Warren continued to get better. Boswell 4 for 4. Give credit to Mike Tomlin to stick first guns with Russell Wilson. So those are all things that we mentioned, basically the notes of the game that came out and all that. All right, let's do a quick recap of the first 6 games. As we know, we're 6-2. We're in first place in the division, and we haven't played a division game, but that's coming up. So, what was my favorite win of the first 6 games actually was versus the Chargers. I like that win versus the Chargers because they have a real tough defense. And I don't think we've played a tough defense like they were all year. And they played. It was a close game. Herbert wound up getting hurt, but I like that win the best so far out of the first 6. And the loss to the Cowboys should have been a win. And I'll leave it at that. We all know what happened in that game. What were your thoughts on the first the 6-2 record, the first 6 wins and the first 2 losses?
Of the 6 wins that we have, honestly, I'm not surprised by them. I kind of expected it. We could have 7 if we're a goal line. We're a goal line stand away from being 7-1.
Would you say about maybe 4 inches if he would have stuck his hand in there a little more?
Yeah, and even like the game versus the Colts too. Like that was one of the games we were down so much, and that was my Justin Fields moment coming out party. He put the team on his back, and if it wasn't for the botch snap at the end, who knows? Maybe they pull that out somehow.
Yeah,
but
that's when he showed that he could, if he needed to, he could
run the team.
Right.
But as far as the 6-2 start, I wouldn't say I expected it, but it was what had to happen with this next part of the schedule coming up.
Well, when we did that review of the season, I think I had them at. I don't like to do that.
No, I know.
But because you do it because everybody does it, and you go through the first couple. I think I had them at 5-3. I actually had them losing another game, and I thought it was going to be to one of the. I thought it was going to be to one of the New York teams, the other loss. I actually thought we were going to beat the Cowboys. I thought we were going to lose the first game versus Atlanta because that was a tough environment for a first game. I thought we were going to lose to the one of the New York teams because of a letdown. And I picked the Colts losing to the Colts because we never win there.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, 6-2 was where you thought they'd be, or 5-3?
6-2. They had to be 6-2.
Okay. Right. They had. Right. You
had
said
to
that.
be.
They had to be.
Less would have been a disappointment going forward. Obviously, we weren't going to realize with the upcoming schedule how other teams are going to be, which is a little different than what we're expected. But I think for the schedule coming up, you had to be 6-2.
Okay. All right. I just I meant to do it before we were talking about him. Beanie Bishop was one of the notes I had on the paper. Beanie Bishop, as a rookie, has 3 interceptions, and we have a bye this week, and we have a lot of people coming back after the bye. And one of the people coming back after the bye is Cameron Sutton, who was serving a suspension for 8 games for his whatever he did. I don't even know what it's called, but whatever. He's coming back. And I don't know what's going to happen with Beanie Bishop, but I went back into the Yinzer Report files, and I went back to Yinzer Report episode number 28, and there was somebody who was on the screen here that called what Beanie Bishop was going to be for this team. Okay, I didn't think it was going to be this good. It is, but let me see if I can get it up here and just let you listen to what was said.
For me, I love the pick when we picked him, and I think, like from what you said, reading the mandatory mini camp and everything, he had a great camp. You know, they said that he looked great. You know, all his footwork and everything was very sound, and you know, he was a professional. You know, he showed up. He had to do what he had to do, and he went home. And you know, that's always. But as far as me, you know, I have a guy as you know, Beanie Bishop. That's always been the guy for me.
Yes, and that's the guy you mentioned after the draft when we did the draft. He wasn't even a draft pick; he was a free agent draft pick signing.
Even though we signed Cameron Sutton, now we know he's suspended. I think this just opened up the door even more now for Beanie Bishop.
Hey, I'm going to put this out there. I don't know what you think about this. I have a feeling they're going to cut him. Think about that.
All right. So I don't know if you guys heard that. Yeah, did you hear it?
I heard it, yeah.
You heard it? Okay, good. I took that off my phone. That was episode 28. But there was another time you mentioned Beanie Bishop after the draft, as the dog is barking in the background. And that's what you said about Beanie Bishop.
Yeah.
Said he was, you know, this is what he's turned out to be. It's exactly what you said. I just wanted to put that out there and give you credit for that because I thought that was pretty awesome. All right. So, so 6-2, like I said, we're in first place in the AFC North. We haven't played any division games yet. And I saw a comment out there today by our illustrious number 7, Big Ben. He mentioned that let's not get crazy with the Steeler offense until we see them play a good defense. So I just kind of feel that was wild that he came out there and he said that. But here we go, Ant. We got the bye week. We got guys coming back. We got some good pieces coming back. There's still that thought out there that we're going to trade for a wide receiver, but the way they've been playing the past couple of weeks with Russell Wilson, I don't know if this guy's going to make a trade. I really don't make it. He's letting everybody go by the board. I mean, I mentioned in last week's show, I'm glad we didn't get Brandon Ayuk. Look how he wound up. But he's, you know, and now the Ravens just got Deontay Johnson, who we traded for the cornerback that we have from the Panthers. So now we got to face him twice because we haven't played any division games.
I know.
So that kind of bothered me. But I don't think he's going to make a trade for a wide receiver. But the guys we do have coming back are going to set this defense up. And I don't see the defense, like I wanted to mention during the we were talking about the game. The past couple of games, they've given up some real chunk yardage. I thought I wrote it down here somewhere. I don't see it. They've been giving up like over 300 yards a game. I think in their past like 3 out of 4 games, and that's kind of an alarming thing. But I guess they're scoring points and they're winning, and the defense is coming up at the right times with the interceptions and sacks and fumbles, and that's helping us along. So we have this schedule coming up. It's going to be a daunting schedule. A couple of things have turned since the beginning of the year when you look at the schedule as far as the division, because we got all 6 games now. Ravens twice, Browns twice, and Bengals twice. I'm going to say, which I think we're going to do better, but I'm going to say I'll take 3-3. No, you're laughing. You don't think so. You're laughing. I mean, because this is the way I look at it. Look, we play great against Lamar Jackson. We do. But I can't see winning both of the games against them.
No, I agree.
As much as we hate them, they're good.
We're definitely going to split versus them. Though that's not the team that I'm talking about. But the other 2 teams, I think we could beat the Bengals and the Browns both. Definitely the Browns. The Browns are terrible. I don't care what anybody says.
I think the Browns
the only reason they might beat us is because it's typical. It's a division game, so you never know. It's a complete toss-up.
And I think they got a bit of rejuvenation with the quarterback. I mean, I'm not saying he's a great quarterback, but I honestly think he's better than Deshaun Watson. I mean, if Deshaun Watson was still the quarterback for the Browns, I'd say we're definitely beating him twice. But I don't know. They showed something. They showed something to me on Sunday, and
well, it was a big.
The
game
Ravens were a drop ball away from winning that game. The guy dropped the ball; it was right in his hands. I mean, Mommy could have caught that pass, but I don't know. But it's a division game, and I just feel, there's going to be one team we're going to beat twice. I said 3-3 because I'm just trying to balance out the rest of the schedule, but because there's 9 games, so that's 6 of them. So I said 3-3, but I do think there is one team we're going to beat twice. One of the 3 teams we're going to beat twice.
Yeah,
whoever it is, and I think we could finish with a 4-2 division record. Then the other games we have are the Chiefs at home, of course, on Christmas Day, which is the game we talked about going to. But I think the family would have exiled us if we did that.
Yeah.
Then we got the Commanders coming up right after the bye, so that's going to be you know what, I think it's a good time for that game because that's going to give us a little taste of the Lamar Jackson type of game we're going to have to defend because this kid is good.
That's one of those teams that you would never expect it to be 6-2,
right?
And if they win coming up, they'll be 7-2 versus us,
right?
And then I think the other game is in Philadelphia, which the Eagles are a good team. I feel like we never win in Philadelphia. Something always goes wrong there.
Man, we're always playing them there.
Yeah. Like I said, I think they should go 4-2 in the division, which would put us at 10 wins. And then you got to try to win, I guess, 2 out of 3 out of the Commanders, Chiefs, and Eagles, if you can. Because if you want to win the division, like I said, I don't know how good Baltimore will do the rest of the year. They have a tough game coming up this week versus Denver, which usually I would say that's a lock for Baltimore. But I don't know because as much as you said you don't trust our defense, I don't trust their defense.
No, that's where they need the help. They need help on defense. Yeah, I agree with that.
Can 10 wins win the division? I don't know because we won 10 games last year. We were in the wild card. So I think you're going to have to try to get that 11, 12 wins if you really want to win the division.
Yeah, I think those are the magic numbers, 11 or 12 to get a division championship and maybe a first round bye. But like I said, so we have the 6 division games, the Commanders, the Chiefs, and who's the other game? We have one more.
The Eagles.
Oh, the Eagles, right? You said that, yeah. That's a tough schedule.
And, the problem is how the NFL schedule it is. We're playing division games back to back.
Back to back, yeah, on a Sunday and then a Thursday.
We play Baltimore Sunday and then Cleveland on a Thursday. I mean, listen, those 2 games, these players are going to be dead after those 2 games. They're going to kill – both games are going to kill each other.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, somebody's bound to get hurt in those games. I agree with you.
So it's kind of I like that they had the bye this week because they could get some people healthy. Hopefully they get Frazier back. They get Herbig back. They're going to get Sutton. Hopefully they get Corey Trice back.
Yeah, according to what they're saying, everybody's coming. Everybody should be back. And Cordell Patterson, too.
Yeah.
So now you got to know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't see them making a trade for a wide receiver because they're going to use him. They're going to use him all over.
And as far as Ben's comments, I understand what he's saying. I mean, he knows best. He's played it his entire career, so he knows how those division games are. One of those teams could be 0-15, but it's a division game at the end of the day. They're going to bring their best. They're going to try to ruin whatever magical season you're on.
Right.
So, I mean, listen, they're all going to be tough games. Cincinnati's offense is really good. We know they got Chase, they got Higgins, Burrow's good.
Yep.
But I think one of those teams, I don't think Baltimore. I would love it to be Baltimore, but I don't think Baltimore. But one of those teams we're going to beat twice, I think.
I agree. I think I don't know which team it's going to be, but I do feel we're gonna win 2 games against.
If it is Baltimore, I'll take it. I'll take it.
We don't care who it is. We just Oh my God, I can't stand them either. I just can't.
But depending on, not to get too far ahead, but
this is the fan coming at me. I can't stand Hallmark. I hate him. I hate him. I can't.
No, I know. Not to look too far ahead, but depending on how the schedule goes and if they do win majority of their games, that game versus the Chiefs, depending on how they go, if the Steelers keep winning, that could be a make or break if you get a bye or not in the playoffs.
I read something today that was very interesting about that game. And it's when you think about it, it's kind of true. They said that Christmas Day in Pittsburgh, they might have everything locked up by then because they're undefeated now.
Yeah.
So what's the incentive to go out there on a Christmas Day and play a game? You got everything locked up, but it's a little far-fetched. But, yeah, that's pretty funny. All right, so I'm going to throw this up there. Can you see the yellow box on the bottom of the screen where you're at?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So this will be our second half predictions because we're coming to the end of the show. I guess I could go a little over. I don't think anybody's on after me because I wanted to mention the college games coming up. I put down playoffs, AFC Championship, Super Bowl. Your thought, I'll give you mine first. I think, not I think, I'm going to say we're making the playoffs. I will take making the AFC Championship. I do not think we're going to get to the Super Bowl. That's what my expectations are for the rest of the season, even with that daunted schedule coming up.
Yeah, I think they definitely should make the playoffs. If they somehow did, it'd be a complete collapse. So hopefully that doesn't happen. As far as the playoffs go, I just feel like this team has gotten so comfortable with making the playoffs and then losing in the first round. Whether it's the wild card or, we've seen this team have the best team ever and they lose to some crap team at home in the playoffs. We've seen it how many times. I don't know what's happened to this team when it comes to the playoffs. They always, not that they, I don't want to say they choke, but it's like something just goes wrong miserably in every game. Every playoff game, something miserably goes wrong. Right. And they end up losing because of it.
Right. That happens every year. You're not lying.
Depending on, I think for them to go to the AFC Championship game, I think they're going to have to win a division. Because if you win the division, maybe you can avoid going to a place like Buffalo, which they never do good in. I don't think you want to, hopefully they can avoid Kansas City in the divisional round.
I think, the divisional round is going to be a tough game no matter who it is.
And if you do win the division, that means you're going to have either Baltimore coming to your house, which we all know we've seen Baltimore beat us plenty of times, in Pittsburgh. I think one of their last playoff wins versus us was actually in the playoffs in Pittsburgh. It's tough to say. I mean, the fan in me, I think this team can go to the Super Bowl. Especially with the way they're playing. If they keep playing the way they're playing, I don't see a reason why they couldn't go to the Super Bowl. But, it's going to come down to who they play. I don't obviously if you face the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, it's not going to be easy. They're back-to-back Super Bowl champs.
If we could get the defense back to the way it was at the beginning of the year, I think they were giving up like 15 points a game. With this offense now, I think we could go far. I really do.
Well, I think with the defense, I think what it is you've had
Highsmith. I don't know what
Highsmith just came back, so I don't know if he's going a full 100%. They don't really have any depth after TJ and Highsmith because Herbig got hurt. So you get him back. Now it gives TJ and Highsmith a little breather for them to be a little bit more fresh. Same thing, vice versa. When you get Sutton back now, you get Trice. Those are two more corners, long athletic corners that you're going to bring.
Yeah, no, as I said, we're getting a lot of people back, and it's only going to make the deal. And you're getting Herbig back, too. He was playing awesome when Highsmith was hurt.
Who knows? Maybe, everyone's saying that, they should go out and get a wide receiver. Maybe they go out and they get like a defensive lineman to play with Cam that can make an impact.
Hey, the way Tomlin's been coaching this year, who knows? Who knows? Who knows who we might go out and get?
And as far as the offense, the only thing for the offense for me is I just wish they would involve Frymuth a little bit more. Because I think he could be such a weapon for you, but the guy's only getting 1 or 2 catches a game.
Yeah. And that was supposed to be a big staple of the offense for Arthur Smith.
I don't want to
tight end's big.
I hate to be that person that talks about contracts, but I don't really feel like paying Pat Frymuth all this money for him to block. Meanwhile, when Ben had him his rookie year, he threw 9 touchdowns to him. So the guy has the potential, all the potential in the world. Just got to know how to use them.
There's a question out there from Yukio. He put, how many players had played in our last championship? He put Cam, Boswell, and question marks. That is a great question. Our last championship.
Well, the last time... He means the AFC championship.
AFC championship, yeah. When was the last time we made the AFC championship?
That was when they lost to the Patriots, like we always do.
I don't think either one of those 2 guys were on that team.
No, they were.
Boswell was when we lost to the Patriots in a championship game?
Yeah, that was the year. That was the year, I think, who got hurt? Didn't Brown and Bell both get hurt in the championship game? And they blew us out. The game was over at halftime. That was the same season when Jesse James had the misplay at the goal line, and then we threw the pick.
Still a touchdown to me.
I agree.
That'll always be a touchdown.
So whoever was on that team, Boswell was on that team.
Hayward, then that was it. I got to look that up.
And I think Sutton was on the team too. As far as that, I don't know. I don't think TJ was on the team yet at that time. He may have been. Unless he was a rookie.
No, Yukio, I'm gonna look that up. That is a great question, and thanks for putting that up there. I mean, are you asking me or you want me to guess? I mean, if you're still out there and you want to tell me who it is, go ahead and let me know. Was Tomlin the coach? Maybe Tomlin was the coach?
Yeah, Tomlin was there. He was definitely the coach.
Tomlin was there, but he's asking about players.
Yeah,
how many players had played in our last championship? Cam, Boswell, and he's got a question mark.
Yeah, it's definitely Cam, definitely Boswell, definitely Cameron Sutton, and I think that's it. There's not really no one else that rings a bell.
Offensive guys, right? No,
they're all gone. They're all gone.
They're all gone.
All the linemen are gone. All the receivers.
Those were all the guys that played with Ben.
And that year was either TJ's rookie year or the next year was when they took TJ.
Right. Well, I'm going to look it up later on.
No, TJ wasn't on the team because TJ's never won a playoff game. So he wasn't even on the team.
There you go. You're the man. Great. All right, so that's it. So you have them you feel they possibly can make the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Okay. I have that. I definitely feel we're going to make the playoffs.
I think this year would be a complete disappointment if they don't win at least one playoff game.
And depending where we are in the playoff slot, I think we could get to the AFC Championship, but I don't think we're going to win it and go to the Super Bowl.
And if there is an AFC Championship game, possibly in Pittsburgh, we're going.
Yeah, put it out there. I love it. We are going. That's it. I'm retired. I can go anytime, anywhere. All right, let me just, I'm over the time limit here. I don't know. I guess I could still go. There's nobody on after me. I just want to get, you can chime in if you want on this. I got to get in the college teams coming up because they both have, 2 of them really have big games coming up. And we'll start with the Pittsburgh Panthers. They're ranked number 18 in the country. Hold on, Yukio answered something. What he said, that's not the problem. Most important is the players and coaches know how to win playoffs. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, but Mike Tomlin, Yukio, Mike Tomlin has not won a playoff game since the year he won the Super Bowl. I don't think so. Am I wrong about that? I'm not sure. I don't know. Think about that 1 second while I just run through the Panthers here. So they're ranked number 18th in the country. They're 7-0 this year, and they're 3-0 in the ACC. And they beat Syracuse last Thursday night, which feels like a month ago. The concern for this coming up in this game against the Mustangs, SMU is 7-1. They're 4-0 in the ACC. So this is a really big game. It's out in Texas at Gerald J. Ford Stadium coming up on Saturday. This is going to be some game. SMU is ranked 20th. Both quarterbacks in this game, both starting quarterbacks for Pitt and SMU, are up in the air status for the game. Of course, the Pitt quarterback, the freshman sensation, Eli Holston, he has an undisclosed injury. And it's, Pat Narduzzi's the coach for Pitt. He's out there. He doesn't really give any information on injuries. And all he said was, like I said, his injury is undisclosed. And we have Nate Narniel, the backup quarterback, taking snaps along with Eli Holston for the game. It'll be a game-time decision. So the SMU coach, Kevin Jennings, about his quarterback, said that he's just listed as questionable, and that's the quarterback. His last name is Jennings, Kevin Jennings. Like I said, Pitt beat Syracuse 41-13, and SMU won 28-27 at Duke in an OT win. So that is the game Saturday night. So tune in for that one. That's going to be a good one for the Panthers. That's going to mean a lot for them. They're 7-0, like I said, 3-0 in the ACC. SMU is 4-0 in the ACC. Yukio puts up there, fortunately, Russell Wilson has appeared in many playoffs. Yeah, hey, well, veteran quarterback in the playoffs, man. You can't that's big right there. And you could see the playoff game last year. Look, we had a quarterback. We had Mason Rudolph. I mean, that is a big comment, but yeah, I don't know, man. What do you think about the what he's saying here with the players and the coaches know how to win playoff games, and Russell Wilson, of course, is your veteran quarterback. I mean, well, I'll take a veteran quarterback any day in the playoffs, of course.
Yeah, that's essentially what it comes down to. I think last year's team, when they went to Buffalo with everything that happened, you need experience. Experience goes a long way. And when you only got 2 or 3 guys on the team that's ever even won a playoff game, let alone been in one, it helps. So it's definitely going to help that we have Russell Wilson at quarterback, who's been to a Super Bowl, lost a Super Bowl, so he understands everything. I mean, and as far as his question, I think the last time Tomlin won a playoff game was, I think, the Miami game at home when they had the bye.
Oh, yeah. And
then they lost to the Patriots. That was the same year, I believe.
That's it. There you go. That's the year it happened. You're right. Yep. All right. So, let me get quickly into Penn State here. Now, Penn State has the game of the year in college football. It's coming up Saturday afternoon at 12 o'clock. And I'm going out Saturday night, but I'm definitely watching this game. They are number 3 in the country. They're 7-0. They're 4-0 in the Big Ten. And, of course, everybody knows they're coming up, and they're playing against Ohio State at Penn State at Beaver Stadium. And this is a 12 noon game. So, there's going to be some good football played early Saturday in the day. Ohio State is not number 4, and they're 6-1. And another big question at quarterback here is for Penn State. Their main quarterback, Drew Aller, he's a big question mark. And his playing status, according to Coach Franklin, is a game-time decision. So he sustained a knee injury in that 28-13 victory over Wisconsin last week. And before leaving, he was 14-18 for 148 yards and a TD. But they have a capable backup replacement quarterback for him, backup Pribula, who came in the game. And he was 11-13 for 98 yards and a TD. And he had 28 yards rushing, and he did lead them to the victory over Wisconsin. Ohio State they lost a big player in their game last week. Their left tackle, Josh Simmons, who potentially is a first-round draft pick in the 2025 draft. Maybe the Steelers could get him. Suffered a season-ending knee injury, and his replacement's name is Zine Michalski, who struggled while replacing Simmons in the game. Both teams, we all know what this means for them, and can Penn State finally emerge with a victory over Ohio State, who's been their big time team that they play every year and lose to when they need to win. Because this has got to be Penn State's year for the championship. They got to win this game, and they'll be playing in that final game in late January, early February, whenever the championship game is for the college championship. So that's the college football. You got Pitt at SMU at 8 o'clock, and then you got the 12 noon game, Penn State versus Ohio State at Beaver Stadium. So that's the college football. Tune into that. And one last quick thing I just got to mention. I'll mention the Penguins. They're 3-7-1. They're 8th in the Metro. They're on a 6-game losing streak. And they lost to the Wild last night, 5-3, in which, honestly, I don't think any Penguin fan was rooting for the Penguins. They were rooting for Marc-Andre Fleury to win the game because they standing ovations galore for this guy. Of course, Marc-Andre Fleury was with the Penguins when they won the Stanley Cups. And he's a fan favorite, and he'll always be a fan favorite forever in Pittsburgh. They did a tribute to him, standing ovations, all kinds of. I just saw something on X Twitter before it came on. They had a special section in their team shop. It was all Penguin Marc-Andre Fleury stuff, and it was like half price. That's great. Pittsburgh is so great. It's so different. I mean, we live in New York. We're New Yorkers. I love New York because I live here, but the sports in different towns is totally different, right? Don't you agree with me?
I agree. If any other New York player would have did that, they would have been lighting the stuff on fire.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Let alone having a private section in the team store with all his stuff.
So, like I said about Marc-Andre Fleury, he plays for the Wild now. They got the win last night. It was 5-3. And all this was going on. And like I said, the Penguins, I don't think they gave one cahoots about who won the game. They were all rooting probably for Marc-Andre Fleury to get the win. And then if you can get a chance, just Google it. They did a after game conference in the locker room with Marc-Andre Fleury, and he lost it. He was very emotional. He loved his time here in Pittsburgh, and he was a great goalie. I kind of like him a lot, too. I've always liked Marc-Andre Fleury. You know me, I collect cards and all that. I have some cards of him and all that. So that's it. Anything else you want to say before we go off the air? Because I'm way over. Nobody's saying anything, and the stream is still going. So
got nothing else to say. Thank you for having me.
Nah, man. Hey, I wish we could do this more often. Like I spoke with Chris and James, my nephews and your cousins. We're gonna try to get like a hockey thing going here. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but my nephews, they are fans of hockey. They're big hockey fans, and the family in their family, the father, my brother-in-law, is a Ranger fan, and my nephews are twins, and one's an Islander fan and one is a Devil fan. And I thought it would be great to have them all on with my son, and we just have like a hockey thing going on here with everybody. And we talk about the Penguins, the Islanders, the Devils, and whoever else is in the Metro Division. I think one of them said they had a friend who was a Penguin fan, so maybe I have him come on. I don't know how many people I could fit on the screen, but I thought that'd be fun. So we're going to look forward to maybe doing that. All right. Well, that's it for now. This has been the Yinzer Report. Thanks again for joining me. Thanks for taking time out of your day. And, hey, we'll see what happens. We got the show on tape. I guess we'll go back to it at the end of the season. when I have you on for the end of the season. Recap. So hold on, let me just cue the music up here. There it is. Thank you, Pittsburgh. Thank you for everybody listening. Thanks for all who was in the chat. Oh, and I meant to mention I played the Show of the Land by Cleveland for Jen B. It's her birthday today. She's the Cleveland host. Happy birthday, Jen B. Glad you got that win for yourself Sunday. And everybody else in the chat, thanks for joining. That's Terran, of course. He is in everybody's chat. He's always around. He's a staple here at IE Sports Radio. Danny Man, thank you, buddy. Thank you for all you've done, pal. You know what I mean. P5, thanks for joining in. Yukio, you're the man. Pittsburgh for life. Don't ever forget it. Aunt Mary was in there. Thanks, Aunt Mary. And Yukio finished us off. And Danny Man with a yeet at the end, right at the end there. Danny Man. All right, so this has been the rescheduled edition of the Yinzer Report. Today's Wednesday. We'll be back in our original time slot next Tuesday at 5 p.m. 2 p.m. Pacific time. And thank you, Larry B. and IE Sports Radio Public Relations for having me do the show a day late. Thanks again for my son for joining as a special guest. You know, I love you. I love talking sports with you. And I guess we'll continue our conversation in the car tomorrow. All right, guys, this has been the Yinzer Report on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all other sports. Thank you, Pittsburgh. And everybody have a good night.